guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Samantha Izundu and today we are talking about fragrance. I have picked out a selection of my favorite warm, cozy, but still sexy fragrances to wear. I've actually uploaded this for my Northern Hemisphere guys and gals because I'm in the Southern Hemisphere, so we're going into summer, but you guys are going into winter, so you're gonna want these nice, warm, cozy fragrances that I love so much. Some of these are my all-time favorite fragrances as well because I love a warm, sexy fragrance. I will bring up the notes as I talk, but I am someone that talks about fragrance as how it makes me feel rather than specific notes and how they correlate with one another. I'm more of an emotional fragrance person than a scientific chemistry kind of type fragrance person. So if you like these kinds of videos or you're interested into getting into fragrance a little bit more, please consider subscribing down below, like the video along the way, and let's go. I have no particular order. There's no first to last. I'm just picking what's in front of me. My first one is the All Saints Sunset Riot. This is a beautiful solar fragrance. I personally love solar fragrances. It has that real uplifting but still warm. This is if you love warm, cozy fragrances, but can still wear it in the summertime. So this definitely has that gourmand aspect to it. We have the amber, cedar, orange blossom, pink pepper, and rose. It's got a sweetness to it that reminds me of Baccarat Rouge 540. A lot of fragrances have been inspired by that fragrance. I do own that one, but honestly, I think we all know that one by now. So I like to talk about others. Even if they do smell similar to the Baccarat, it's got that juicy, yummy, but still warm and sexiness to it. So Sunset Riot is a beautiful, I would say inspired by Baccarat, but it's still softer. Baccarat is quite strong. This would be a nice softer version if you prefer a softer fragrance. It still has that intensity. It is an eau de parfum, but it's got a softness to it, but still warm, still sexy, still cozy, and I love it. From an Australian brand that is actually taking over the world slowly, this is the Who is Elijah fragrance. I bought their Discovery set. I've recently acquired one of their 10 mils. It's one of those brands that I think I will eventually buy the full size. But with brand new brands where there isn't a lot of reviews around the world, I like to buy the Discovery sets to try them. I don't think Who is Elijah is on Fragrantica. Oh, they are. Okay. So this one here is Haze. The whole brand is unisex. So some of them I would say swing a little masculine or feminine, but I would say generally it's very unisex brand. So this one here has a top note of pink pepper, orange blossom, and clove. We have middle notes of chestnut, guaiac wood, and juniper, and the base notes are vanilla, cedar, Peru, balsam, and cashmeran. So this one's got a real nice warmth to it. They actually have a fragrance inspired by Baccarat, but it's not this one. So this one I really get that chestnut. Oh, it's so delicious. The vanilla I really smell. I smell the cedar. I get that cashmeran vibe, but I also get that, and that the orange blossom and the pink pepper is kind of lifting it a little bit. Fortunately, I don't get heavy on the clove because I don't like clove in fragrance. I'm not a huge aromatic person, but I definitely smell these notes. The standout for me is the chestnut and vanilla. It's got this beautiful warmth to it, but that vanilla makes it cozy and yummy and sexy. Next, we're going to the extreme side. We've got the Addition de Parfum Frederic Malle Promise. Now this one is not for everyone. You've got to love intense perfumes to love this one. When I first smelt this, I didn't like it. I have the 10 mil now and it is grown on me. I haven't used much here, but I get to spray this whenever I want at work. This one that I have at work is in store. So I am very familiar with this scent, even though this does look like it hasn't been used. So this is written in Arabic, and from my understanding, I might be wrong, but this was the nose behind the fragrance is Dominique Ropion, who also did Portrait of a Lady, which is their best-selling fragrance. This is an amber floral for men and women. I would definitely agree with that. I think Portrait of a Lady is definitely a feminine fragrance. And for me, Promise is a more masculine unisex version because it's heavy on the rose and then it's got the fruit notes and the woods. So they've got similarities in notes, but this one is more unisex, maybe even a little masculine. But I wear this. So I believe this was inspired by Arabic fragrances. So it's their take on an Arabic fragrance, but obviously it's not actually an Arabic fragrance. So this is the top notes of apple, which is a very strong note that I smell. My nose is very sensitive to fruits. I love fruit notes in fragrance. I don't necessarily love fruit fragrances, but I love fruit notes within a fragrance. I love the freshness and the complexity that fruit brings to fragrance. So here we have apple, pink pepper, and rosemary as a top note. The middle notes are Bulgarian rose and Turkish rose, along with clove. And then the base notes are cypriol oil, patchouli, castoreum, labdanum, and ambroxan. So this is an intense fragrance. This is sexy. Whether it's on a man or a woman, this is powerful. This is the fragrance if you want to make a statement, if you want to show the world that you are a powerful, in control, sexy individual. This is the fragrance. For me, it is intoxicating, but I love it. Do not do more than 2 sprays or everyone will be smelling you in a kilometer radius. Next we have from Maison Francis Kurkdjian, Grand Soir. This is the epitome of cozy, warm, sexy. To me, this is a sophisticated sexy, not a young sexy. And I kind of want to say that most of them, the more fresher ones I would say have a youthfulness to it, but we've got some intense, delicious, cozy, warm fragrances here. So Grand Soir is another fragrance that I would say is not for everyone. Some of these fragrances, they're intense and warm and cozy, but they're not mainstream scents. So Grand Soir has a powder in it, has a powderiness to it that can make it lean a little mature. However, it is delicious at the same time. So this is an amber vanilla fragrance, and I would totally agree. Our top, we have notes of amber, vanilla, cyan benzoin, tonka bean, Spanish labdanum, and lavender. I personally love lavender added into fragrance. I think it gives this cream, my opinion, a creamy softness to a fragrance. I can still smell that promise. Why did I spray it? It is everywhere. That one spray is intoxicating me. Okay, Grand Soir is beautiful alone. I personally, because it's got that ambery intensity to it, I personally love layering this with a fresh fragrance. I love mixing it with the Maison Francis Kurkdjian Aqua Vitae. That's my personal favorite mix because it's got the aldehydes. It's still a warm fragrance, but it's got the citrusy notes, and it really lifts this fragrance into being, it's quite a deep, heavier fragrance. Oh, this is delicious. This is a nighttime fragrance. This is for a sophisticated person. I think a man I think this is masculine or feminine. I think it maybe slightly leans feminine because of the vanilla and the slight sweetness. I wouldn't say this is very sweet, but slightly. So I think it leans a little feminine. However, I can definitely see someone who loves more masculine scents wearing this one as well. Next is just a little 5 or 7 ml fragrance, but this is another one I sell at work, so I can smell it whenever I want. I'm very familiar to it. This is Maison Margiela Replica by the Fireplace. It's very hard to describe until you smell it, but it's if fire was also delicious. It's like a gourmand, but a smoky gourmand. It's very hard to describe. So we have top notes of clove, pink pepper, orange blossom, middle notes of chestnut, guaiac juniper, and then base notes of vanilla, Peru balsam, and cashmeran. Is this not the same notes as something else I just said? This is exactly the same notes as Haze by Who is Elijah. Who is Elijah is being sneaky. In the last video I did, their the EAU fragrance has the exact same notes as one of my favorite fragrances called Debasa by Dias and Durga. And when I was doing this, I realized that they are also the exact same notes. But these do smell different, but they've got the same notes. Like exactly the same notes. That is naughty. I was like, am I reading the same notes? Okay, so that, I don't know if that makes me really good at this or really bad at this, that I've just picked 2 of the same fragrances. I mean, if I had to pick by the Fireplace, it smells totally different. I would not say they smell the same, and that's why I'm so surprised that they have the same notes. All right, well, that's thrown me for a loop. I've learned something new today. By the Fireplace to me smells like smoke, smoky fire, smoky wood, fire. Marshmallow is what I get. That's what that gourmand aspect is. It's very sweet. This is a sweet fragrance. This leans feminine. Very unisex, but it leans feminine because of that sweetness. But I also get the chestnut. I get the wood. I get this kind of delicious woodiness that is really hard to describe. But when you smell it, my God, there is no turning back. This has got really good lasting power, as many of the ones that I mentioned today do. I would say this is definitely the strongest one by Maison Margiela. This is one that you definitely have to go in store and smell, because you'll either love it and want to pray to the gods every morning to it, or you hate it. So definitely a one to go smell wherever it is that you live. If you're in Australia, this is sold at Mecca. Next one is the Kayali Love Fest Burning Cherry 48. I bought the 10 ml because I wasn't sure, but I think I'm gonna have to buy the full size of this. This is me being like modest with it. I want to finish this. I love it so much. And I think the reason why I love it so much is the dry down is better, and it gets better throughout the day. It's got really good longevity. So the top notes here are burning cherry, raspberry, bergamot, and it's got those fruity notes that I love in a fragrance, but it's not just a fruity fragrance. It's got so much more depth than that. The middle notes are praline, heliotrope, damask rose, jasmine sandback. Base notes of palo santo, tonka bean is very strong on this, the guaiac wood, ambretolide, Peru balsam, patchouli, and Haitian vetiver. Stunning fragrance. So this, you very much get that cherry in the beginning, and it does have that burning cherry quality. It's got like a smoky a cherry vibe, right? But the dry down is where it's at. This fragrance, oh, the dry down is where it's at. So for me, you get that praline, you get the tonka bean, and you get all those beautiful woods and vetivers that make it earthy and just delicious throughout the day. So that cherry kind of does subside, and then you are left with this lasting, intoxicating, beautiful fragrance. This is probably my favorite Kayali. I am so keen to smell the new ouds. I hate the name. I hate the name of the collection, but I love that they've done different kinds of ouds, because for me, I love a sweet oud, which we're gonna get into. I love a feminine oud. I love, love, love. So that is something I think I will purchase in the full size. A lot of these I have small. Let's be honest, perfume's expensive, so I will buy the small if I can. And I also have a lot of fragrance. So in an ideal world, I'd have full sizes, but we have some, and then we have some minis, but I'm still going to talk about it whether they are a 2 ml or 100 ml. Next is my favorite evening fragrance. Yeah, I think this is my favorite evening fragrance. This is what I wear without a doubt when me and my husband go on a date. It is the Maison Francis Kurkdjian Oud Satin Mood. There are three. There's Satin Mood, Silk Mood, and then just regular oud, just called oud. This one is the most feminine. Silk I also have. I find it very balsamic, a little much more unisex, and then the oud I find more masculine. That's my opinion. So this one is sexy, it's cozy, it's warm, it is everything that this video is about. I can't rate this highly enough. So we have Bulgarian rose, Turkish rose, vanilla, oud, violet, and benzoin. I personally love violet in fragrances as well. It gives a soft, it's fresh, but it's still got this softness that I love in fragrance. I'd say violet and lavender are some of my favorite florals within a fragrance. So this is rose heavy, but it's got a real sweet sophisticatedness to it. Rose can swing so many different ways. I think I've learnt that I do actually love rose through the years. I used to think that I hated it, but I think I was smelling the wrong rose fragrances. I think when a fragrance is just predominantly called rose, I don't gravitate towards it. This is intoxicating. When I tell you I get feelings, I get serious feelings when I smell this fragrance. This is the one. This is the one. Also, Maison Francis Coeur de Jean, gold tops are warm, silver tops are cool fragrances. So, you know when they're going to be warm is by the top of by the lid. Anyway, I don't know what else to say about this because the notes are not long, but we've got the rose, the vanilla, the violet, the oud. The mixture is absolute perfection, and I really recommend you go and smell this one in particular, Satin Mood. Lastly is an Australian indie brand that is doing really well. So they sent this out to me when they first started, and my God, it is stunning. The guy, it's a one-man show who creates these perfumes, is very talented. I've got to say, he's got a special edge. The brand is called Motel Paradise. So these guys are not on Frangrances. I can never pronounce it. It drives me mad. But because they're still really small. This is Angelic 1111, and it is Angelic. I've got to say, it's a really warm, sexy fragrance. This is a perfume. This is an eau de parfum. Let's have a look at the notes. Top notes of bergamot and green leaf, or leaf green. The middle notes are magnolia, heliotrope, jasmine, lily, white musk. And the base notes are myrrh, tonka bean, amber, and vetiver. So this is a tonka bean amber fragrance in my opinion. The dry down is stunning. The longevity is amazing. And what does this go for? $74 for 50 ml. It smells so expensive. It's on this level, but it's less powdery. This is more musky. This has got a powderiness to it, in my opinion. So the bergamot and green leaf is what makes this got a nice lightness to it, but it is very heavy in the tonka. Oh, the magnolia gives it a zestiness. Oh my Lord, it's just delicious. This is one of those fragrances, if you're interested in, you have to blind buy. But they definitely sell 10 mils. I haven't tried the other fragrances. This was the only fragrance he had initially, and it started doing really well. So now he's now got Daylight Seduction, Imperial Char, which is a black tea fragrance. I really want to smell that one. My Pure Soul, My Greatest Pleasure. So he's got a few now. So there are 10 mils go for $38 or $28. This one is $28, but it's currently sold out because he makes everything. They always go back in stock though, because it's just when he can make them, because I think he still works full time as well. He's doing really, really well. I definitely recommend this. I got my friends to buy this because it smells so good. So around my age really loves this. In your 20s or 30s, you'd really love this if you love a really warm, cozy, sexy fragrance. But it's still got a youthfulness to it. But it's got a vanilla tonka bean, but it's not sickly sweet. It's so good. I really recommend it. If you can afford to blind buy this for $74, I do recommend, or $28 for the 10 mil, I do recommend it. It's fantastic. So that's all of my warm, cozy, sexy fragrance recommendations. Obviously there is just so many I could recommend, but those are the ones that I really thought are worth mentioning and worth looking up if you are interested. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. If you did, I would love a thumbs up. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in my next one. Bye.